It's the matchup we've all been waiting for. Titans v. Texans. Will Levis v. CJ Stroud. Maybe. We'll have to see. Welcome back to another Titans Bros video. I apologize. We've been MIA for a couple weeks. Several reasons for that.
Sicknesses and Christmas.
Sicknesses and Christmas. I was deathly ill for like a week and a half.
And then I was deathly ill.
And then he was deathly ill. Plus, I kept trying to make videos, and he was trying to watch Christmas movies with his wife.
Yeah.
And not just that, but I'm a UPS driver. I'm going to tell you, my day job. I'm a UPS driver, and it's just hard to get a hold of me in December. So it's just my job, his wife, all that stuff. Also, I have one more guest to show everybody. Say hi. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, it's just tough this time of year to get videos. So I think we'll have to just expect that every December, especially as it gets closer towards the end. It's gonna be a little bit tougher.
I just have a sneaky feeling if the Titans was 12-4 right now, we'd be making it'd be a little bit easier to make a video.
That could also be it. Because I'll be honest, I've known we will be eliminated for a while now, but when we officially got eliminated, that is the first time we have gotten eliminated in season since I think 2015.
Which is embarrassing and pathetic. Like, I was not ready for this franchise to take a step back quite like this. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because my predictions was 8-9, but 8-9, and you're in the thick of things for the whole year, basically.
Especially as weak as the AFC is this year.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. I don't know about disappointing, but it was not as good as I thought. But yeah, we're what, 5-9 or 5-10? We're 5-10,
5-10.
Well, 5-10. I don't think any Titan fans really expected this at all. Even the Debbie Downer Titan fans, was thinking 7-8 wins.
Obviously, I was a little too excited saying 11-6. But one thing that I think I don't feel bad about is I don't think anybody could have predicted that our offensive line could actually be a good bit worse than last year. We thought last year was the worst possible offensive line ever known to man. The fact that we are not just kind of worse at pass protection, but this O-line is way worse at run blocking.
It's terrible.
So a combination of that plus Derrick Henry, he's looking older. And also, who could have predicted that Tannehill would just go off a cliff? Let's be honest, he went off a cliff.
He doesn't look good. Not to mention, nobody was a good receiver other than D-Hop. D-Hop has been as good as we would like. We couldn't expect much better out of him. But Traylon Brooks didn't take a step. Kyle Phillips didn't take a step forward.
Chig is starting to string some games together, but that's only been the last 4 or 5 when we've already been all but mathematically eliminated when he finally started playing.
When it comes to receivers, we just had nobody take that step forward, and that's a little troubling. NWI is basically what NWI always is, and but that's still not good enough when you don't have anyone else doing anything.
Yeah, I agree. So even though obviously 11-6 was probably dumb, because I was really going to say 10-7, and then just last second I'm like 11-6. So I should have just stuck with 10-7, because it is possible we win both games and go 7-10. Because they just said, what's that quarterback? Trevor Lawrence. He's not going to play this week, so it's possible he could even be done for a season. So it's possible we stupidly beat the Jags for no reason. I don't think we'll beat either team, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do, and we might end up being 7-10, which makes it 7-10. 10-7, like that's just like mid, you know what I mean? So, but the season obviously just didn't turn out to be how we wanted or how we expected at all.
Defensively, we was just a little worse than I wanted us to be. In preseason, you and I was both a little hyped about our defense, and it was underwhelming.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. Quietly, and tell me if you disagree with this. That makes no sense because you can't really disagree with stats and facts. We have the 17th ranked defense.
I'll say this, that we do feel like, and we talk about this defense, where 17th is actually not horrible, but it's not.
Basically, right smack dab in the middle.
I was like, that's not good. You and I in the preseason, I remember saying, we'll go as far as this defense will take us, and we feel like this defense is going to be at least top 10, maybe even top 5. I remember saying that. It's not at all.
Well, let's also be honest, Christian Fulton was a dog, as they call him, not preseason, like off-season workouts and training camp and all that, and then it just was awful during the season.
Anyway, so let's talk about the Texans and Titans.
Yeah, let's talk about Texans and Titans.
Texans and Titans. Actually, do you want to start off the injuries? Do you have that pulled up?
I don't have it pulled up. They're saying Will Levis is most likely going to go, and they're saying C.J. Stroud also most likely going to go.
I would say, when Will Levis got hurt, I did expect him to only miss one game because that looked pretty bad. But so I'm glad about that.
It did.
Because do you agree that last week was the most what is the point of this game? Because I knew we'd been out of the playoff race for weeks, but it was fun to watch Will Levis. But with Ryan Tannehill, I'm gonna say this now, and I haven't even told you this, but I fell asleep during that game. Second quarter to the third quarter, I was asleep. I fell asleep.
So maybe that's why you didn't make a recap video, because I was sick as a dog that day. I was like, "You need to make a recap without me tonight," and you just kind of disregarded that, didn't say anything.
But anyways, there was no point in that game, but it's gonna be nice to have Will Levis back. But you can say it's the rookie C.J. Stroud versus the rookie Will Levis. That's exciting. The only problem though is it's in Houston, and they beat us without C.J. Stroud last time.
They beat us with their entire rookie team, or not rookie, but backup team basically.
So I expect this probably not gonna be pretty. But once again, like I said, the last few weeks, notwithstanding last week, but hopefully, I'm just looking for Will Levis to do some good plays and stuff. Yeah, honestly, I don't even want to win. The last time I saw was picking 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Lose the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, we'll get into top 5, but we'll see.
Yeah, because I think I said this. I may have said this in one of our last polos. I always say polos. That's a video app that me and my wife talk back and forth with. So that's why I say polos sometimes. Our last podcast, or one of our last podcasts, I had said something. I don't even remember what I was talking about now because I just interrupted myself with the story. What did you just say?
Will Levis playing makes the game more important, more fun to watch. We said something about the Texans beat us without the starters.
Yeah, I don't remember. I lost my train of thought. I was also preparing something in my hand that I was going to read to you as well. I mean, it's sad that our team's as bad as it is, but here's the thing I was going to say.
Draft.
That's what it was. That's what I was going to say. This is the first time since 2014 I've actually actively rooted for us to lose.
Yeah.
Because in 2015 we already had our quarterback. We thought Marcus Mariota. I wasn't wanting us to lose any. So 2014 would be the last time I actually
have our quarterback.
Yeah, I mean technically we do, but when you think in some of the people we could get our hands on, Joe Alt, Olaf Fushanu, those are the best 2 left tackles in the draft, and then there's Marvin Harrison Jr., but I just don't think it's realistic.
Some people has him. I don't think he will go number 1. So I think he's gonna be number 1 or 2, most likely 2. But that's what I think.
That'd be crazy. Actually, if the Bears were smart and liked Justin Fields, which those don't really go hand in hand, but if they traded back to number 3-ish or something and let someone go up to get Caleb Williams, and then they picked up Marvin Harrison Jr., having him and DJ Moore as your top 2 wide receivers.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but the Bears have 2 top 10 picks.
That's right, they do.
They do. So they'll probably get a quarterback with 1, and then the other get a playmaker or something. So they're in a position to really improve their team.
I remember there was one point where they had the 1st and 3rd, and people were like they could literally take Caleb Williams and give him Marvin Harrison Jr. That'd be incredible. But anyways, who cares about the Bears? But as I was gonna say, this is sad. I stopped and thought about it today when I was driving. We have not had a single running back get 100-yard game this season except Derrick Henry. And we have not had a single wide receiver get a 100-yard receiving game besides DeAndre Hopkins. Is that pathetic?
That's pathetic and a little concerning. We don't have youth that's impressing me at all. Oh, yeah, Tajay Spears. I like Tajay Spears.
We have an almost 30-year-old running back and a 31-year-old wide receivers are only people that can put up 100 yards.
Yes.
And that's bad.
Yes. And so, yes, we don't have any youth that's impressing me. So that's annoying. Even this draft, Josh Riley, is he wowing us? No. Is Duncan wowing us?
Actually,
Duncan looks awful, actually.
Yeah, he does. He does.
To be honest, he looks terrible. That's a little because he's one of those classics. Oh, this guy, this was a steal. He could start in the NFL. Not from what I saw. Peter Skronsky, even though he's struggling, I'm still gonna say he looks good. Tajay Spears looks good, but other than our first 2 picks, and Will Levis, I guess. So I guess our
first 3. But still.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, but then the question though still is, even though Will Levis hasn't looked awful, no one's gonna say, "Oh, he's slam dunk gonna be a Pro Bowl quarterback," or nothing like that for sure. And Tajay Spears looks good, but how would he look as a number one back? We don't know that answer that either. You know what I mean?
No, because the way it trends, that I'm thinking that's getting less and less and less likely we bring Henry back.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. To be
honest,
which
can come with positives. We've had the conversation many times where having Henry makes us feel like we have to run the ball
and run it in a heavy set that I don't
have to run it in heavy sets. But I think if he was healthy, I think Kyle Phillips could be good. We've seen him be good, but he's not a good blocker at all. So since he can't block, he's pointless. And when you take him out there, they're showing your hand. You're like, oh, so it's Kyle Phillips out here, so it's a pass play. So there are advantages with parting ways with the King. It'll be sad. I did see on Spotrac, which is the site that does the projections, or you look at anybody's contracts up, and they also do projections on what they think the market value for a free agent's going to be. And they said Derrick Henry's was a 2-year, $11.5 million deal. It means like 5.7 a year. I'm thinking for 2 years, 5.7 a year. I could live with that.
I think about it with me, and this is gonna sound heartless for all the things that he's done for our team, but I'm done with that style of football. So that's my thing. I don't care if he says I want to come back for free. I'm actually just done with him. Even if I thought he had some in the tank, I'm just done with that kind of football. Now, what I'm scared though is Mr. Tough Gruff Mike Vrabel is gonna still want us to have that style, but we're gonna try to do that with Tajay Spears, and that's gonna be bad. If that's
sadly, that's my least favorite thing, and would be my number one reason why I'd ever want Vrabel gone. Is I feel like Mike Vrabel, under any circumstances, not under any circumstances, does he want us to have a game where we throw 35 times and rush 14? I don't think he wants that. I think he wants to be a balanced 25 passes to 22-ish runs between all the running backs, and nobody else in the league really does that. So
no one good does that.
Nobody good does that. Yeah. But anyways, here's another interesting stat I wanted to throw out there real quick, that Henry and Hopkins have a good chance at hitting 1,000 yards this game. Hopkins has 939, so he needs 61 yards to hit 1,000. Derrick Henry only needs 28 to hit 1,000. So those are the only two people that I said have games of 100 yards receiving and or rushing, whichever. And they're the only people that's even sniffing 1,000. I don't think anybody else has even 500.
And sadly, that does nothing for me because we're a bad team. If Hopkins and Henry's 1,000 yards was helping us win, then that's one thing. But at the end of the day, I'm like, well, a team that's going to miss the playoffs by a long shot, and what is these two veterans that's not going to be a Titan in for very long, get 1,000 yards? That does nothing to me. And so I'm like, if we was having some youth, like Tajay Spears was about to get 1,000 yards, I'm like, okay, this is something we can build on. This is something I like. Traylon Burks was about to get 1,000 yards. This is something we can build on. It's something exciting. But at this point, I'm like, there's two veterans that's going to be gone soon. And so them getting 1,000 yards really doesn't mean nothing to me. Sounds a little heartless, but I guess right now I'm just trying to get something to hold on to go into the next year, be excited about, and there's nothing really there at all. Will Levis showing some flashes. And we'll probably put him a grade for the season at the end of the year, but I think he might be passing, but he's not passing in flying colors to me.
I mean, yeah, I think he's been like a B minus.
Yeah. Now I would say his defense and Ryan Tannehill as well. This offensive line is so pathetic. It's horrible. It's like it's hard for anyone to look good in this offensive line. I get mad watching us. I'm not saying this last year, and this year it's even worse, but I get just mad watching our offensive line.
Especially if it's 3rd and 8 or more.
It will be a sack.
It's a sack every single time. Just snaps, goes, every single time. You're like, why can't we block?
I was watching, this was 2 weeks ago when we lost to the Texans. I was watching football Titans with my brother-in-laws. And they both was watching. They don't watch many Titan games, obviously, but I think I told you this story for the viewers, but they even said, like, your offensive line is awful, one of them said, and the other one's like, it's like, are they trying to get Will Levis hurt? Do they not like him? Like, nope, they're just that bad. They're just that
they don't care who's back there. They did it for Malik Willis for a quarter. They did it for Tannehill for 6 games. Yeah, I guess just what they do.
They don't block. I'm like, you guys get paid way too much. They just don't.
Not just that, but they whiff a lot.
Whiff.
Yeah.
Well, and here's a question, because you keep, I think, track on this more than I do. Brunskill, is he still doing well? Or is he slowing down, or is he still doing well?
I think he's just as good as the people around him. Like I think if we got a good center and a good tackle around him, he'd be fine, perfectly fine. But I don't think he's not going to overcompensate for people around him and lifting them up. He's not going to do anything like that.
The problem is we need we need 2 tackles. Mm-hmm. We need a center.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's a lot of.
There's a lot of people who are like, Aaron Brewer is a dog in the running game. We should bring him back. I'm like, if we bring him back. If we bring him back and Brunskill's still under contract and Peter Skoronski is still starting, that means the whole middle's still the exact same thing it was last year.
That middle has not been good.
The middle's not been good. So, because there's a good case. There's a case for replacing the entire offensive line minus Skoronski. Yeah. So trying to keep 3 out of the 5. That sounds stupid.
Because to me, more than anything, we got to fix that offensive line. Just got to. Like, last year, I said that, and guess what? We did not fix it, and we are worse than we was last year. If we try to go into this next season with an offensive line like this, what's the point of even showing up? Just give us 17 L's.
We tried to fix the offensive line and our defense,
but it didn't work out
because we used our first-round pick on a guard, and we brought in Brunskill on a multi-year deal, and we brought in Andre Dillard on a multi-year deal, but obviously the Dillard thing was awful.
Anyway, what
I was just about to say. I was like, I'm waiting for him to finish saying whatever he says, and then I'm going to be saying. But I peeked. I peeked a little bit. I apologize.
You peed a little bit?
Yeah, that too. I peeked. It's like where you make the microphone sound weird. Okay. Which is like when you've been too loud, because I went but right in it. But anyways, but it is Titans versus the Texans. We'll have plenty of time to do off season. I just hope we can do some organization in our offseason, as opposed to every single video being the exact same thing where we just sit down. Our offensive line's terrible. We need to replace everybody but Skoronski. We just, our cornerbacks are all not just bad, but most of them are off the roster. We need new cornerbacks. And we just do that and spitball the whole time. Hopefully we can have some sort of organization and subject to our videos in the offseason, but we'll worry about that once it gets here. For now, we got but here's the thing, and here's why we have so much trouble talking about the actual matchup going on, Titans v Texans, because I want us to lose. So what else do I say? I mean, obviously, I want Will Levis to look good. I would like to see Hopkins and Henry hit their 1,000-yard marks this week. I'd like to see Chick continue to improve. I'd like to see Burks do a little something, because he had that one game we had 3 catches for 60-something yards, but then he was super quiet again the next game. So because here's the thing, even if Burks moves all the way down to like 4th or 5th on the depth chart as a wide receiver, he's still going to be on our team. So I still want him to be able to make some plays.
I would say I do think, though, we need to just realize he's not a 1. Probably not a 2. He's probably not a 2. We need to go draft or bring in a 1 or 2. You know what I mean? So he's not it.
Yeah, he might be a one-trick go route pony. You know what I'm trying to say?
Which is funny, because he was not supposed to be just that. Like, in college, that's not what he was.
No. The problem is, if you really stop and I think about his college tape, he really was kind of like a gadget player. You either threw him a screen or threw him the deep ball. Like, how many times do you see him go for a crisp slant route? How many times do you see him do a nice post route or a nice dig route?
Are you saying that was a bad draft pick?
I mean, obviously, it's proving to be a bad draft pick when you get picked 18th overall in the first round to replace A.J. Brown. It's not looking great. But anyways, so I want to see young people do stuff.
Yes, I agree.
Winning is unlikely. We just got beat by their backup team a couple of weeks ago, and now they're going against our backup team, because I'm not sure you saw this or not, but like they put Amani Hooker on season-ending IR. They put Fulton on season-ending IR. They put Jeffrey Simmons on. Yeah, they put Jeffrey Simmons on. Jack Gibbons they put on it. So basically, half of our starters was
because we're already eliminated, and the thing is, we stuck without him, with them, so we're gonna really be bad without him.
Yeah, but now our starting cornerbacks, like Bunting missed last week because of injury. So if Bunting misses, I don't think he will. But like if he did, our starting cornerbacks would be Eric Garner and Trey Avery.
Trey Avery's looking bad. He's good.
awful. He was awful last year. I don't know why we even. I don't know why he plays too much. Like he's an undrafted rookie last year. He was awful every time he played last year, and he's been awful every single time he's played this year. So I'm like, why do we even have him on our roster?
At this point, I want to lose, so I'm like, keep him out.
Yeah, at this point, let him and Eric Garr take over. But anyways,
either way, CJ Stroud is 100%, and he should be if he cleared concussion protocol. He will have a field day against us. He's been great unless he comes out rested, but he's been good all year. Our defense secondary especially is so cookable right now. It is so torturable.
I mean, our starters when we had Bunting and Fulton out there wasn't good.
Yeah.
So with these just no-name idiots who, it's not going to be pretty.
They can really run on us. You know who I just like? I like him so much, and it's gonna sad to see him go. Probably it's Denico Autry.
I literally have his stats pulled up right now. He has 11.5 sacks on the season.
Yep. Even with our defense not being as near as good as it's supposed to be, he had a good season again. And I would love to keep him. Don't know if that's going to happen. And also, though, sadly, he's getting to that age where you never know when he's going to hit a wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he's 33. So exactly. If we bring him back next year, he'll be 34 years old.
I mean,
he's insane. It's insane getting 11.5 sacks at 33.
Yeah, I know. So he could be 11.5 sacks this year and then 4 sacks next year. You just never know when they're going to hit a wall. Yeah. So it's scary, but he's been good. Harold Landry had a bad year, but you can always say
that second half he came back to his former self.
Did he do anything last week when I was asleep?
Yeah, he got a sack. So he's up to.
So he's doing well.
He's 9.5, so he could break 10. He's got 2 games to get a half sack.
He did well, I guess. I mean, well enough. I hope next year.
I mean, I was on board with you, but I also predicted before this even started. The first 5-6 games, he was useless. He was awful.
On key, I'd be okay if he was like he's. I don't know what he is to be.
He came on too late too because he's been stacking the sacks here lately. I think he may have gotten another one. Yeah, he's up to 6 on the season
apparently
now.
We are. You know what's annoying to me about our pass rush is that 6 sacks. Now I don't know what Jeffrey Simmons had, but probably 5 or 6 sacks. Yeah. Then you have Autry with 11 sacks, Landry with 9 sacks. That sounds like a good pass rush, but it's not consistent pass rush. You know what I mean? There'll be 10 plays in a row where the quarterback just stands there, sits down on a chair, look at his feet.
Well, yeah, I can remember the Jags game. Trevor Lawrence looked comfy back there. Like I don't even think there's any hits. Like there's maybe a few hurries, but there were no sacks, no quarterback hits. He just comfy back there, just shredding that awful secondary.
So that's what's confusing about a pass rush.
Because I think it's possible our secondary is even worse than we think, and that there were games that our pass rush just got to the quarterback to where he wasn't able to cook them.
Yeah.
So.
So anyway, I foresee the Texans' offense lighten us up, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then offensively, actually, wasn't it against the Texans that when Will Levis got hurt, right? In overtime, right? So I can see Will Levis. What did we do last game? Against the Texans.
16-16, and then they kicked a field goal in overtime.
Okay, so yeah, probably most likely Will Levis ain't gonna do nothing.
No, probably not. I would like to see him getting a little, battle, a little shootout.
Oh yeah, me too. I'd
love us to lose 30-33, or something like that.
Give something excited about it, like, oh, that's our young gun right there,
Because if he just comes out and he lays 16 points, the next week against the Jags we scored 13, and then call it that.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Like, is that?
It'd be even worse if Trevor Lawrence misses next week and we scored 13 points, but they only scored 10. And I'm like, why did we win 13-10?
You know what? To be honest, that was my prediction. I thought we were going to do that against the Seahawks. I don't know why, but I felt.
Well, here's the thing. I know you slept through the middle of it. We were ahead literally the entire game.
I do remember that
until 5 minutes of the fourth quarter left.
Once again, defense not clutch.
No, never is. Never. It's a good catch by Metcalf in the back of the end zone.
That was.
It's a pity I had him on my bench in fantasy football. But anyways, I knew I should have put him in going against the Titans. But anyways, we're already 34-ish minutes into the video. But I mean, we basically discussed everything there is to discuss because we talked about, we basically want us to lose, but we want to see some young people actually do some things. I said I wanted to see us hit some milestones. Is there anything else you want to touch on, or are you ready to just call it a day? And just happy we actually made a video since we haven't made one in almost probably 2 weeks.
I'm excited. Let's see what Will Levis, Mr. Mayonnaise, got. Again, that, even though he missed only 1 week, that just made that week feel so useless and pathetic. So I'm glad to see him back. But I'm scared. You hear about young quarterbacks getting ruined because they're getting put behind a crappy offensive line. I'm like, if that's gonna, there's no offensive line at the crappier than ours. So I'm just hoping we're not ruining Will Levis and creating bad habits with him. But
yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, 13 days is when I uploaded our last video. So good to be back in the saddle. So yeah, hopefully we don't ruin Levis. Hopefully our young people, including Levis, can get some nice, valuable experience. Hopefully they have fun, but lose. And I guess that's all we got. So Titan Bros will come back maybe Sunday night to recap the game. We'll see about that. But regardless, whatever happens, peace out and all that jazz. Titan